A sigh of relief tonight from people in a Lexington neighborhood. Police have arrested a man they say has been connected to a string of crimes.
Some people may see them as pranks or jokes, but a WKYT investigation finds false threats against schools actually have a huge impact even on taxpayers.
Pool season is just days away. What local pools are doing to help keep your kids safe.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening. People who live there say it's normally a quiet neighborhood, but Lexington police arrested a man there they say is behind a series of burglaries and thefts.
Police arrested 23-year-old Hugh Sullivan after a burglary on Bay Meadows Drive near Man o' War. Tonight, Garrett Weimer talked to people living nearby who say this arrest comes as a relief. It's our top story at 11.
Here on Bay Meadows Drive, neighbors say there isn't much crime. Not recently.
It's quiet, there's kids, it's a family neighborhood.
But police say a home here was the latest target of Hugh Scott Sullivan, a man they believe is behind other break-ins. Police arrested him on Man o' War near Clay's Mill after police were called to a burglary in the nearby neighborhood. Police originally reported that after they arrested Sullivan here, they found evidence linking him to more than 100 car break-ins, home burglaries, and other thefts. Shortly after that, however, police would say only that he was connected to, quote, multiple thefts and burglaries. They have not released where those alleged crimes happened. But folks who live here on Bay Meadows say they're glad if the man responsible is now behind bars. But that won't keep some neighbors from being more aware of what might be going on when they're not around.
It'll make me think twice about leaving my car open, even if I'm just running in the house or whatever. And it'll probably make me take my dogs for a walk a little bit later at night than normal, kind of just check things out, kind of like to keep the neighborhood watch going.
In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Well, police say the investigation is ongoing right now. Sullivan is charged with theft, fraudulent use of a credit card, and 2 counts of burglary.
Tonight, friends are remembering a Kentucky National Guard soldier who died in a crash on Interstate 75. They say that 34-year-old Sergeant Jonathan Rourke had been in Frankfort for work and was heading home to Knox County. His car was hit by a tractor trailer in Rockcastle County on the interstate. His friends asked that we only use their voices on camera. They say that Rourke was passionate about being a soldier and loved spending time with his family, including his 3-year-old son.
He was somebody that everybody liked. Everybody had a kind word to say to him. He was the type of person that you strive to be like.
Police say an Ohio man who was driving one of the tractor trailers involved in the crash was also killed. New tonight, we're tracking the investigation into an unusual fire in Bath County. Owensville firefighters say they were called to a property on Day Road this afternoon. They say the property owner set a large trash pile on fire, and that caused a lot of smoke in the area. Firefighters spent hours putting the fire out. They say it's still smoldering tonight. They also say the EPA was called in to investigate. No one was injured and no buildings were damaged, but firefighters say the property owner is facing some fines.
When a school receives a threat, state and local law enforcement agencies rush to investigate, ready for the worst. No matter if the threat is made by phone or through the internet, each case is treated like an emergency. Most of the time, these threats are false alarms, but schools, law enforcement agencies, and taxpayers are paying a heavy price for them. Mark Barber investigates the reality of bogus threats.
I just had someone call in to say that they have a gun at a high school and that they're going to shoot somebody in themselves.
Chilling calls for help started pouring into the Whitley County 911 Center on April 16th.
They just sent a cop in an ambulance. They said there's blood everywhere.
Investigators say they didn't find any blood, but they were able to trace the threat that appeared in an online chat room that morning to a school computer used by Nicholas Greenlee and a friend.
The kid had been talking about committing suicide and everything. So I told him about the online chat thing, the crisis line, and he said he would use it. Then I went to the bathroom and came back, and we got put in lockdown.
The sheriff isn't discussing the case because it's still moving through court. Both students are charged with terroristic threatening. The second student isn't being named because he's a juvenile. Kentucky State Police say these violent threats against students are happening over and over and over again.
For law enforcement in general, it would probably be at least once a week.
According to the Kentucky Center for School Safety, in the 2013-2014 school year, there were 411 threats against students, including school shooting threats and bomb threats. That's up 18% compared to an average of the previous 4 years, according to data obtained from the School Safety Center. Those cases only reflect incidents where the culprit was caught. The Department of Education tells WKYT the number of threats that have happened this school year won't be available until the fall. While the Center for School Safety doesn't know why numbers are up, they say it could be attributed to two things. Students aren't worried about consequences, and school safety officials think there aren't teeth to the law. State police say their records show that charges have been filed against 81 people who are accused of threatening students this school year. Every year, you, the taxpayer, pay for hundreds of these threats, and they are costly. According to records obtained from the Nicholasville Police Department, in March, a threat against high schoolers in Jessamine County cost the police department nearly $14,000.
A lot of the threats that we have seen are attention-seeking, but we also do have those students that want to get out of school or that want to make a disturbance in the school.
In one of those cases, a Boyle County teenager called a car rental company in St. Louis in February, threatening to shoot a busload of children. He later wrote a letter apologizing, calling the threat a prank call and practical joke. The Whitley County Sheriff's Office says their scare
He just came on and said I killed 2 of them.
Was also intended as a joke.
I hope the joke was worth it, man. It's cost both of us our freedom.
The pranks are keeping law enforcement from true emergencies.
I don't think the system in place is adequate at all, because it's continuing on, and there's not a deterrent out there.
John Akers, the director of the Center for School Safety, worries threats will continue stacking up unless dramatic action is taken. He points to Laurel County, where bomb threats appear to drop off after a judge ordered parents of several students to pay between $5,000 and $10,000 in restitution. Greenlee is already paying with his time. He has been locked up in the Whitley County Detention Center for 35 days, waiting for his next court date.
This ain't no joke at all. That was a serious thing. People take that stuff really seriously. There was all kinds of lives that would have been at stake if that was a real case.
Greenlee is facing a 5 to 10-year sentence if he's convicted on the terroristic threatening charges. The Center for School Safety worries that offenders don't see serious consequences in many of these cases. I asked the Administrative Office of the Courts for conviction rates. However, they said that information is confidential because it involves juveniles. I was able to learn the name of the 15-year-old student who is accused of sending the threat in Boyle County. And according to the Department of Juvenile Justice, he only served a week in jail before he was released on probation.
Well, Mark, this is very interesting. So not only are these false threats placing a burden on taxpayers and schools, it also appears to be a burden on state police. Any idea how much this is costing them this school year?
I don't know. We asked them for their expenses, and they said that they couldn't provide them because there's just too much data to go through.
Wow. So how do we get the message out that this isn't okay?
Well, the Center for School Safety thinks that starts at home with the parents. School safety officials say that parents have to start educating their children about how even sending a false threat, a prank, could have serious consequences for them as well as for their community.
Absolutely. Mark, thank you for your story.
This weekend, Lexington's aquatic centers will open for the summer. This comes as the health department warns about an increase in shigellosis cases. Health experts say the stomach illness is often spread in pools. So what are parks and recreation workers doing to keep you and your children safe? Monique Blair has that story new at 11.
That sound can only mean one thing. Summer is approaching. Swimming pools are opening. And germs are spreading.
Come here, let me clean your nose.
Earlier this week, the Lexington Fayette County Health Department warned about an increase in shigellosis, a highly contagious form of diarrhea spread through person-to-person contact. So now the Lexington Parks and Rec is making sure their pools are as germ-free as possible before they open this Saturday. And once the pools are open,
every hour, yep, our managers do this.
They'll test the chlorine and pH levels once every hour to make sure the water is safe and killing bacteria. As Parks and Recreation gets ready for pool season, there are also some very important steps you can take to help keep your kids safe.
Don't bring your child to the pool sick. Washing your hands, taking showers. Don't change diapers beside the pool side.
Shigellosis symptoms last 48 to 72 hours and include severe diarrhea, fever, and stomach cramps.
If it's a diarrhea incident, We clear the pool. We are then closed for 24 hours.
And as much as preventing physical contact between children is almost impossible, this mom says it's about making sure her 3-year-old son understands how important it is to have clean habits.
You know, there's going to be so many times throughout the day or even playing here at the park where we're not right next to him, but teaching him and making sure that he's aware of these good habits is what's really going to help prevent something like this.
In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Lexington Parks and Recreation leaders tell us despite the increase in shigellosis cases last year, the health department did not find the bacteria in any of the city's 7 pools.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Tonight, the Lexington Opera House raised the curtain on its upcoming season of Broadway Live and Variety Live.
Some big names. The Opera House unveiling all of the show titles for the 2015-2016 season. Beauty and the Beast, The Producers, Annie, Mamma Mia, Once, 42nd Street, Stomp, and Flashdance will all be performed at the Opera House over the next year. Tonight's event has become a very popular show in itself.
This particular program, when we announce and reveal the titles for the new Broadway Live show, has grown every year since we started it, to the point where this year, instead of general admission, we've actually issued tickets.
You'll find ticket information, speaking of that, for the Opera House shows on our website at WKYT.com. You will see it next, right here on WKYT. Some television history tonight as David Letterman hosts his final Late Show.
Yeah, it is the end of an era. Letterman's career in television has spanned more than 30 years. Suzanne Marquez has more now on Dave's goodbye.
David Letterman took the stage at the Ed Sullivan Theater for the last time to a standing ovation. The Late Show host ended his 33-year late-night TV career Wednesday. Those lucky enough to score a ticket say it was an unforgettable experience.
It felt like, like you're losing a family member.
You really felt the significance of the end of an era. Yeah, it was very touching. I was kind of moved. I was teary.
The show featured a star-studded top 10 list, including Jerry Seinfeld, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Steve Martin, and Chris Rock. The topic, the final things I would like to say to David Letterman. Spoiler alert, the last band to play on Dave's stage was the Foo Fighters. Letterman has said listening to their music helped him recover from heart surgery. The show also featured highlights of Dave's career as a television trailblazer and entertainer, and he thanked his staff and family.
The whole thing really, and it left me not with a sad feeling, but with a feeling that uplifting, that all the memories that his show evoked over all the years.
Another audience member said it was the best way he could go out.